like the best. Like 8 through 12 or 9 through 12 are like the best ones that they've come out with so far.
Welcome back, guys. Episode 230, take number 2. Hopefully this one works better. Welcome back again. Quick word about, sorry guys, we're a little bit late today on our, it was my fault. 80%. Boy said it's 80% my fault. It was.
Might be
I was
85.
late. I was late. I was for sure late. But we're back. So we have confirmed this Thursday.
This Thursday, next Thursday.
Next Thursday. We have confirmed next Thursday we're having our biggest guest yet, in my opinion, which is going to be super exciting. This person is pretty famous, you know, in the community. So I'm kind of excited about that. But
Not
anyway,
really in the community, worldwide. Really.
Worldwide, yeah, worldwide. Very known.
I mean, in the jiu-jitsu world.
In the jiu-jitsu world, very famous. Matter of fact, he gave me so he came over. Did I show you the gift he gave me for my birthday? He gave me the rash guard and the shorts he was wearing during his last ADCC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah,
that's a
badass.
cool gift.
Yeah.
That is a really cool gift.
So I was kind of like, holy
It's
shit!
like
I
blood of the goats on
yeah,
that.
you know,
on
what I mean?
that rash
Yeah,
guard.
yeah. So it's
Blood
kind of
and
cool.
sweat of the goats.
Like I'm really thinking about like framing that shit. You know what I mean?
You got a fucking jersey of Godzilla versus Kong.
Basically,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Yeah,
yeah. Definitely, you gotta like frame it.
frame that
hang
shit.
it.
Yeah, hang it up. Have him maybe sign it. You know.
Yeah, probably just get him to sign it for sure.
Yeah. Also, couple of words about our sponsors, UFC Gym Largo and Pinellas Park. Actually, I was there this Sunday helping them clean the floor so they can start installing the floor. So this week is the floors are going in. So it's already light at the end of the tunnel for sure. And the light's pretty big at this point.
I'm going to give a claps to that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Can't wait for that thing to get started already.
Vitality 1 and 2, of course. But other than that, let's dive in, guys. Did you see the newest thing with the Poppy Trump?
What do you do now?
Eggs.
I need to make some type of like little banner or something that comes up
For Trump talk?
Yeah, dude, a little fucking
like him
Trump
being
talk
a clown or
something,
some
yeah.
shit, like a little animated clown with like crazy hair blowing in the wind or some shit.
What's he doing today?
Yeah.
You gotta find like a good Trump gif and just cut it out and like mask it, cut it out, and then use that as like an overlay.
Yeah. So basically what happened, I think it was the ex-head of FBI, he was walking on a beach with his wife, and then they saw this message that was left in the sand.
I think I saw something about this.
And it said 8647. And he's like, well, this got to be some sort of a political thing. And then he posted that shit on his Twitter.
Yeah.
But if you ever worked in any type of a restaurant or anything like that, when somebody says 86 an item, meaning they're out of the item.
Yeah.
Right? And this whole thing started with 86 is the actual exact amount of inches that they dig a hole when they bury someone. It's 86 inches.
See, that was
That's
different.
6 feet.
That's a different conspiracy than what I heard.
No, it's not a conspiracy. That's where that number 86 came from.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're saying the meaning of the number. I've heard a different meaning.
Yeah, 86 is mean
Like
we're out of it. There's no more.
I've heard a different. I heard the code that I saw resembling 86 was different. Whatever.
No, the idea of 86, this has been used in restaurants forever. Like when you run out of, let's say, chicken, they'll say 86 chicken.
Let's see if we can find it.
So I've looked into it, and 86, long time ago, 86 basically they're thinking that originated because it's the same exact amount of inches. 6 foot is 86 inches, I think, that they bury someone, and the doors are also 86 inches, 6 foot.
Yeah, it's a lot
So
of
you're
things
exiting the door. Yes, a lot of things that are 6 foot.
You know?
So, but the idea was 8647. He's president number 47. 8687. Basically, get rid of 47.
Get rid of 80. Get rid of 47.
Get rid of.
I saw something that pointed towards
and
that.
Trump was saying that this is a call for assassination, this and that. Like he was just like.
Yeah, I saw that part about it too. Them saying that it was like basically that it could be looked at as a threat, kind of thing, a potential threat.
And the funny part was this idiot, the FBI director. He even tells the story. He's like, oh, when we're walking with my wife even told me when she was working in a restaurant, 86 meant that there's no longer, this item is no longer in a restaurant. I was like, bro, you're the FBI director. You couldn't put two and two together, even if you didn't know what the 86 is. Like, you couldn't put 8647. Why 47? Who's 47?
Come on, man. You think anyone's just gonna think of that randomly when they see
Bro,
those numbers?
But he's the FBI director. I mean, you can't be that dumb to be an FBI director. I mean, Cash Patel is not doing any fucking better.
Just missing a little four codes, like four number code, doesn't mean you're stupid. Come on.
I don't know, man. All I'm saying is when these people are like that kind of like under magnifying glass, even if he didn't know and there was an honest mistake, just like he's saying, even then, like they're gonna say you saw it.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So like things like that, motherfucker. You just done retired. You're writing a fucking book. Why are you even posting this shit? Like it's clearly to me somebody can take it as a political stunt, meaning like to promote his book or things like that. It's like why are you doing this shit? Like you've retired, bro. You're collecting a pension. You've done really well. You make shit ton of money. Just like fucking go and retire.
I don't understand the whole threat thing either. Like that I don't understand.
Maybe it's basically some kid probably that's very liberal put that shit in there and like there's no threat behind it. Like
but
on some random beach, you know what I mean?
The article I said something about like the Secret Service coming out and saying that we acknowledge it as a potential threat or something.
Well, yeah, they have to, right?
Well, why? There's so many people saying get rid of Trump.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, but
why is it?
Because they probably had like assassination attempt on him, and then there was there's a second one that was caught halfway. I think maybe that's why. I don't know why, but like Secret Service has to take that seriously because if something happens, then their balls on the chopping block, basically. So I think that's part of it. But bottom line is like it's probably nothing. It's just a shit sandwich that's not gonna turn into anything really. I don't know, man. It was just the whole thing was weird. But what was even more weird, Kash Patel, who's like the current head of the FBI, he was in front of the Congress, and that there's that old man that's like basically barely moving, has a very strong country accent. I don't know what's his name. He's like 90 fucking years old. No idea. Or some shit. He was asking him like, so what happened to Epstein? Did he kill himself or somebody killed him? Blah blah blah. And it's like, well, we're looking into it. That's when he was in front of Congress. It's like, would you give me the answer before I die? Being funny about it. And he's like, kind of laughs about it. I was like, oh, we'll actively pursuing whatever. And then now he was on I think he was on a podcast or something like that, or in an interview. And also that other guy, he's pretty big. I think he's like a mixed race. He's pretty big in a community as well. They're both basically saying, oh yeah, this is like clear suicide. And in my head, I'm like, I think what happened is like you guys got these positions, and then you saw some secrets, and then like you saw that there might not be that. Maybe even he was like assassinated or whatever, or maybe it was like, listen, you're going to jail for a very long time. You can either do it yourself or somebody will do it for you, type of deal. It could be that, or it could be that they're like, okay, well, if he was assassinated, the people that were involved, if we bring their names up, shit's gonna crush, crumbling down, and that's gonna be even worse than not knowing the truth, right? So there's so many avenues this can go, but it's just funny to me how like government is always gonna work like the government. You know what I mean? Like they're just not gonna give you it, and even if they give you that, and like okay, now you know who like did it. Then now what? What are you gonna do with that information? You know what I mean? Like okay, now what are you gonna do with that? For maybe that'll get him like the whole thing of like, oh, we like this administration because they're being honest with us. But what fucking difference does that make? Because it's the last term anyway. They're not getting reelected. If it was like first term, I'd say okay. Be honest, bring it up so you get at least have some powder to work with.
So with me and Miguel's job, right, we have some accounts that are like handed off to us basically to post for, right? Like we kind of like have to. Some of the accounts go automatically. Like once you schedule it, it just goes out automatically. But some of them go into like a queue, and then you have to like manually do it, right? Go into the accounts. And one of the accounts that I post for, they follow quite a lot of far right people, and it is very far right.
When you call far right, what do you mean? Because to me, far right would be like Myron Gaines. He would be very far right. Or to me, like Nick, what's his name, Fuentes. He would be very far right. Like
further right than them.
Further right than them, like Banner, Steve Banner, or whatever.
Like his name blatantly is. Saying, if you're Islamic, go to hell. Well, blatantly talking about diminishing women, saying Trump 2028, things like that. Like crazy, out of this mind, like nobody even.
Well, no, that would be
Conscious
just
would-
regular far right. It wouldn't be even further right because Nick Fuentes is like, he's a mustache man apologist, like you know what I mean. And then you
Well,
have what's his name,
I'm just saying, I think
Shapiro. Shapiro is pretty far right, and then Steve, what's his name? His wife just divorced him. He would be doing that table like, he would say something and then he would say debate me, on a college campuses.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Like they're
Yeah.
all far right. Like
Yeah.
that's as far right as it gets. Like those guys are. And then that glasses guy, the one that's like they're calling, they're saying that he's like perpetuating the Nazis and whatever. Which what he's doing. He was invited to the White House as well. Like he's
No.
pretty far right as well. Right up
I know
there.
the only one I know you're talking about really is the guy you just mentioned, the debates. His videos come up pretty frequently on my feed and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know why, but they do.
Yeah, so those I would consider far right, but like diminish women or anything like that. Like I mean, there are people that like advocate for men's rights. I'm sure, like there's many.
No, but like I've like some of these accounts, I've seen them make like handwritten posts and like screenshot them and post it as like a picture. And it's them talking crazy shit.
But I also saw this was there was an interview with some Islamic guy that's in England, and they're pretty much like, you're preaching Islam in a Christian country, why don't you just go do it in your own country? Like, when in my own country majority of people are Muslim, in this country they're not. This is why I'm doing it here. It's like, well, would I be able to take my Bible and preach it over there? It's like, well, no, you can't do that because we don't recognize Christianity as a valid religion, and it's wrong, so you will be immediately killed. Look, straight up basically alludes to that. And like
Well, that's not really the reason is no freedom of religion. That's the reason.
oh, okay, that's different.
That's the reason you can't go over there and do it. You know, that's the reason. Not because the official government writing of, oh, we don't recognize it, this and that. No, it's no freedom of religion.
Yeah,
that's
of course.
the reason you
Yeah,
can't go over there.
yeah, you can.
And preach your Christianity. And your country has freedom of religion, so that's what he can do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so like, you know, like I can, you should be able. So here's the thing. I you know, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I want your opinion, both of your opinions about this. Do we really, really, really have free choice? If you think about it, do we really like, we like to think we do, but do we really have free choice
Within certain constraint.
even then? I don't think we have free choice.
We have the choice. I'll tell you what I think about
In
that.
what way?
I can
Because you
give you
gotta
the
boil
answer
this
that-
down.
Yeah,
Boil
I will boil it down. Let me get your opinions, and then I'll start boiling.
No,
it
but
down.
I mean, like, give me a more specific free choice in what?
Okay.
Like, in what aspect of life?
There's
are you
this
talking
new
about
thing
here?
that's
I
been
think you have the freedom. Sorry to cut you off, but I don't want this thought to go away. But I think you have the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want here, but there are consequences to anything that you do. Now, some consequences are good, some consequences are bad. Now you got to try and balance that out.
So let me drive it even deeper than what he said. That's how I was thinking before. Like I was thinking that, but there's this guy. I think his channel is on YouTube. I think it's like Crucible, and he does a lot of debates. And I've been watching his debates. He'll jump and like with like hardcore liberals, and he basically demolishes them all. And there's one question that he asks them that none of them have an answer to, right? And it makes sense to me. And he coined this term of forced something forced. One thing or another, it's force doctrine. Force doctrine. He coined this term. Force doctrine basically says that all men and women are privy to force doctrine, which means the only reason you can do something or have a free choice because there are men out there that guarantee you have the free choice. But if today they decided they don't want you to have that free choice, you would not have that free choice. Meaning that basically, when we go and vote, right, we agree that this is a democratic vote. Instead of us going out there and picking up weapons and fighting each other, we're saying we're not going to do that and we're going to democratically vote. But that's all controlled by a group of men, specifically men, not women, because men in collective can always take the rights away from women or children or old or elderly people. But the opposite is not true, right? Like the opposite would never happen. Right? So what the force doctrine basically says, that this illusion of free choice that we have is actually the reason, because they're guaranteeing that for us. The minute they decide they don't want that, you don't have it.
Well, that's collectively as a people.
Collectively as men, not people. as men specifically.
Why do you say that?
Because the other way around would make no difference. Because if collectively men today decided that let's say if collectively men today decided that you cannot buy vapes and smoke them, right? You wouldn't be able to buy vapes and smoke them because they would enforce it by by threat of violence.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? But the other way around would not happen. Women would not be able to enforce this with threat of violence by saying, okay, you cannot smoke these
Well,
vapes.
by threat of violence, no, but that's not how the world works.
Well, no, unfortunately, it's exactly how the world works because the rules are within threat of violence. Because if you do something, cops will come in, and there's an implied threat of violence
That's not
that you've taken away.
violence. That's just a consequence, but it doesn't necessarily mean violence.
Yeah, but if you don't comply, what's the most logical thing that's going to happen?
You get arrested. But
Get
that's
arrested,
doesn't
but
mean violence.
But not violence, maybe force. I used the wrong with threat of force, not violence. With threat of force, you're right. Not violence, with threat of force.
But that goes both ways now. Men and women both get put down. It's just how society is here.
No, they wouldn't. But again,
Oh, so a woman cop isn't gonna tase a dude? Yeah,
no,
she
yes,
is.
but the only reason
and take him by force? Yeah, she is.
Yeah, but the only reason women are there is because men are allowing women to be there.
Okay, well now you're going deeper and deeper and just
that's what I'm saying. That's where
the
the force doctrine comes in, where men are allowing women to do that. That's why women are able to do it. If men decided today that no woman will be a cop, there's nothing women can do to become cops.
So men live under free will, but anyway, everyone else doesn't.
No, only certain men. Majority of men do not. Most women, all women and children and elderly, and some men do not live with free will.
So what you're trying to say is because someone allows you to have free will, you don't actually have it.
Correct. You don't have it because it's all by like grace of like, okay, you're a little child, I'm letting you do this. But anytime I can take that away.
You still have it.
Yeah, but anytime I can take that away. So do you really have it if that's on like a borrowed time?
How long have we been in a free country?
Well, that's true. It's 200 some years. That's.
I'd say we're pretty safe.
Yes, but the idea is
I say we're pretty safe is that idea will never take place.
No, and I agree. But you're banking on them not saying anything. Like whoever is in control to enforce it, whoever you want to put that to enforce it, you're banking on them not coming back and retracting they're allowing.
If you ask me, if you're trying to say that the top guys in the country,
it's not the top guys, right? Because ultimately it would be the president, right? But then even president has the Secret Service, which tells him what to do.
I get what you're saying, but like they try and go up against them rednecks out in the country. Good luck.
What do you mean? If the United States president right now mobilized the army and sent after the rednecks, ain't any shit rednecks gonna do. They would literally take over everything.
You think the army would obey and just go fuck up all the rednecks? No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So again, we're going back to the same thing. If collectively, whoever's in charge of enforcing or guaranteeing safety decided they're no longer going to do it, ain't nothing you can do to prevent that. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of collective people to gather that.
And I agree with that. So
it's simply implausible then.
No, it's still possible.
How?
Let's say they get radicalized for one reason or another reason. They follow orders. They get radicalized. This or that, the third. Now you're talking about the mode of it. It's not about the mode. It's not the point. Collectively, we came together and said, okay, these are the people that are going to ensure that we have freedom of choice.
In America, we have too much independent thinking for something like that to happen, I think.
But it's still guaranteed.
We've been given that much freedom for so long.
I understand.
I don't think I think it's simply implausible for what you're saying to happen.
Okay, well, look at it this way. When Civil War happened, right? Like, because they were talking about like doing reform for slavery way before Civil War even happened, right? When Civil War happened, one side won against the other side because they forced basically to win against the other side, right? So there was a collective. So this has happened in a history before. A collective decided that you're no longer good enough with your ideas, and we're going to come in and take your ideas away from you.
But the collective that decided and won through force wasn't a radical collective.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. So
it does matter.
No,
because what you're saying is a radical idea, and so what I'm trying to say is to get.
It's not about the radical idea or not radical idea.
It is though. No, that's part of what makes it implausible.
So let me switch it around. if radical people are coming in right now, the, what some would consider radical ideas, like for example abortion, right? If tomorrow they decided they're gonna come in and take that by force and everybody can have abortions, ain't shit the radical people can do. Do you see what I'm saying?
Say again.
So right now they're considered a radical idea that that is not federally guaranteed, right? Abortion, right? It's up to the states. So if the liberal side decided to get together, men on liberal side decided to get together and went in and took that by force and changed the law, ain't shit the radical side can do. There's nothing they can do.
Lucky for us, there's checks and balances, which is pussy.
Which is put in place by enforced by force.
And you're giving another implausible example though.
What I'm saying, the force doctrine goes both ways. It's not just this side or the other side. The best way for me to explain the force doctrine was me to go that route, to go to the most extreme, so I can explain what it is.
Okay, I get what you're saying though.
Do you see what I'm saying? I had to go to most extreme to explain it. But in reality, all of the things, idea like that, you inherently have the like right to go to the store, right? The reason you go to the store because the environment is made safe enough for you where you can go to the store and buy whatever you need and without anybody saying anything to you. Even in a store, when you don't like something, you can return it, and those are the rules because they're enforced, right? One way or another way. That's where that force doctrine comes in, and no one really has an answer to it, when you break it down like that, which makes sense. And I was thinking about it, I was like, well, do we really have free choice? Like, we have this illusion of free speech and free choice, but the reason we have the free speech, it's part of the Constitution, but then that gets...
It just sounds like a real far what if ideology to me.
It is, but all these ideologies are very far, right? Like, you got to start with very far.
Do you really?
Yeah, you do.
I don't know about that. I mean, lots of ideologies go through through plan, or maybe not even go through plan, but actually get actualized into even maybe starting that plan because it's plausible.
But look, even in a world, every war that ever happened, one side comes in with force and takes it away from the other side, right?
Okay.
So whether it's overthrowing a monarch and then now there's a new monarch, whether it's like South versus the
What
North.
I'm trying to say is like, you don't really have freedom because at any moment the military could decide that they don't want to keep your country free.
Correct.
Why are you reaching so far for this? What if that would one never happen?
Well, I'm
Two,
saying
we have the freedom. We've had it for this long, and what you're saying that would take it away is, I guess, in some form or factor, logically possible in one way, but not really. Like, is it really plausible? No.
But my thing started with, if collectively all men decided, if collectively you had the gauntlet and you snapped the finger, and collectively all men decided that this is not going to happen, what is there that anyone can do about it? What is there anyone can do? Nothing. Really nothing.
Shit, with Thanos' gauntlet, you could do a whole lot of shit.
Bro just gave the 100 people versus a gorilla example.
Yeah.
So what kind of, like, if you were to choose the 100 people versus a gorilla, do you think 100 people, 100 average men would be able to defeat a gorilla?
So
they're all committed. They know that 30, 40 might die.
Yes, they are. They're
going to be defeated, right?
If they'll defeat the gorilla, if they're all committed, and the very first few that get dismembered, nobody bats an eye on it. They're like, we know you're gonna die. As a matter of fact, the guys that going in first, they know we're dying, but we're going anyway. Like, we know we're gonna die horribly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Full committed.
Full committed. If they go in and they have some sort of a basic military training of like attack from both sides, this and that, the third, they're taking the gorilla down.
No, not basic. I want average people.
Bro, give me
average people are gonna fucking see the first arm gets ripped off. They're running.
No. Average ability. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Average ability, full commitment. Meaning you just grabbed your average 35, 30-year-old, 25-year-old to 40-year-old Joe out of his house and brainwashed him into believing he has to do this to his full ability.
Yeah.
But
he's got 70 virgins.
He only has his abilities, though.
Give me
70 virgins.
Got it. Chris, an Aaron, and a Kyle. Give them a monster right before they go in there. They got that shit.
No, so this is why I want to break this down.
I think this is what will happen. First 30 will get demolished. Second 30 will get demolished. The next 30 with a 10 on a reserve, got this.
So what is the minimum? What is the minimum of average Joes fully committed that take down a gorilla?
60.
60. Okay. Now, let's say you only have 40 men.
Oh, that's not happening.
Wait, let me put this into perspective. Wait, I got a scenario here. You only have 40 men. And all 40 of those men can be a clone of one person in the world. Who would you make that clone of? Francis Ngannou, John Jones. Who would this clone be?
I
of?
wouldn't, because you have to understand, when you picking people like that, they're very alpha personality, and each one of them is gonna want to.
Fuck all that. You going too deep. What is wrong with you, Jay? Why are you doing?
Because
they're going after the gorilla. No egos involved. Fuck all that bullshit. Who are you cloning? God damn.
I mean, at this point, really doesn't matter. I mean,
What
you would take
athlete? Just pick one, bro. You had to gamble your chances.
Okay, Francis Ngannou.
Francis Ngannou. You're taking 40 Francis Ngannous and going after that gorilla. I think he can do it.
I don't think so. I think he's getting demolished.
40 Francis Ngannous?
Yes.
I think 40 Francis's could do it, bro.
No way.
I think they can.
They can't. There's
think
no
they
way.
can.
They cannot.
I think
There's
they
no
can.
way.
First 10 are dead. After
Bro,
that, gorilla's gonna have an issue.
The point of what I'm saying, they can. The reason being is because even if Francis Ngannou kicks, even if Francis Ngannou punches, that's not gonna do a single damage. I don't even know if he's gonna be able to give him a fucking black eye. That's how strong gorilla's skin and bone structure is.
40?
40. Even as a matter of fact, if Francis Ngannou kicks hard enough, I'm
But
almost
I don't
willing to
understand your
bet
logic, Jay. I really don't understand
he
your
would
logic.
break a bone.
Your logic is not lining up. You said 60 average Joes could do
Yes.
it, but 40 Francis's
Yes.
can't?
Yes, correct.
That makes no
Because
logic.
because
Bro,
I'm-
Francis could beat 5 average Joes in an octagon. Lock him in there. He's 5 of them. He's walking
I get
out,
it.
and then out.
I get it. But Francis Ngannou can also continue going, right? Where Gorilla has the limitation on like the, what do you call it, the stamina limitation.
There's 40 Francis's.
It doesn't matter. He's
40
destroying.
Francis's,
He's
but 60
destroying
Joes
first.
can?
He's
That doesn't
destroying.
make any sense to me.
He's destroying the first 20 within the first 5 minutes.
All right, so you got Jay. All right, Miggy, I'm gonna give you a curveball here. You've only got 30 dudes, 30 of them to pick. Who are you picking?
Chris, Kyle, and Aaron.
Chris
There's
Kyle.
30, bro. There's not.
They
it's
don't
not
have
happening.
weapons, bro.
I just said, just give me a Chris, Kyle, and an Aaron, bro.
Why? What does a Chris, Kyle, and an Aaron do?
Just give them a monster. They're good. Some redneck boys, throw them in there in the ring. with
No,
a
bro. You
gorilla.
can't bribe a gorilla with a banana, bro. This doesn't work.
I'm just telling you, bro.
It just doesn't, man. I don't
Boys
think
go
40
crazy.
can do it. I don't think 40 can do it.
I just had a really bad joke that I cannot
60
say.
60 Francis Ngannous, 60, 70 Francis Ngannous, I can see that happening. But 40, no way.
But you said 60 average Joes, bro.
No, 60 average Joes. No.
That's what you said.
No, I said 100.
No. I said what's the minimum number of average Joes that would
That-
take, and you said 60.
Yeah, that's the best case scenario. That's best case scenario. Which 60 of them gonna die, and then the
Shoot me, Miguel.
61st that comes in is not gonna do anything. Like, I'm banking on having another 30 in a reserve. They're gonna come in, and hopefully nobody dies, and then they collectively can overtake it. But 60 are dying for sure. 60 are dying for sure. That's like my minimum casualty, and that's the best case scenario. And
I
I'm
think
banking
40
on another
I
30
think
jumping
40
right in.
I think 40 Francis's could do it.
Nah, man, I don't think
40?
so.
Bro, send them in like 12 waves. I don't know.
12
Like,
waves of 12
waves
each.
of 12, yeah.
Nah, man, he's not doing it. There's no way. All the girl
think
has
he
to do is just go like this and just do the windmill.
Like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, don't kick up that shit. There's no way, man. There is a little bit of weakness in gorilla, and they caught this shit on a reel, and I saw it. There was a younger gorilla that came, grabbed a little bit of sand, and threw it right in the
I
face.
seen that
Yeah.
shit, bro.
Maybe.
They
Now
were
maybe.
two-
Oh,
there
the
was
Francis
two
is coming
gorillas.
in with some full handful of sand. You know what I mean? It's got big hands. Probably
I
could fit a
seen
lot
that
of
shit,
sand.
bro. It
Yeah.
was like a big gorilla versus a little bit smaller one. And he
Yeah.
threw the fucking
Mickey,
sand
can
in
you
his
pull
face
up a
and just going
hairless
crazy.
chimp? Pull up a hairless chimp.
Now, anytime you look that up, though, it instantly comes up with that one that's buff as fuck.
What do you mean that the one that's buff as fuck? They're all like that, bro. Pull him up.
Making noises and
That's
stuff,
a
bro.
chimp, and chimp is nowhere near as strong as a gorilla. That's just a chimp, bro. Look at his biceps.
The rear naked choke his ass.
Look at his forearms, bro. Like, pull up that picture where he's sitting down. No, the second one on the left.
That one?
No,
You
not
wanted
this
that
one. The second one on, yeah, that one right there. But look at his arms. Look at his forearms. Look at his fists. Look at his head. You know the
That looks like
thickness
a
of those-
statue.
Okay, we'll pull up another one that doesn't look like a statue. Yeah, bro. Dude, this is a chimp.
Man, that boy is
Pull
swinging.
up a hairless gorilla. Let's
That
see if there's
boy-
one with a
That
hairless
boy
gorilla.
is swinging.
Yeah, he's fucking people up.
These chimps gotta put pants on when they come around my girlfriend, bro. Fuck you mean? You have me looking bad. I see four monkeys.
No, pull up that third picture from the top. Third picture from the top.
You're not showing your screen right now, are you?
Bruh.
Oh, okay, good.
Bro, look at his shoulders. Look at his skin look at his skin, the thickness of his skin.
Bro, he just look like Francis with hair.
No, man, come on now. Yeah, bro. Like, no, look at his lats, bro.
Arthur, 40 Francis Ngannous can take down a gorilla. 40.
Oh yeah, one.
One gorilla.
Oh, all day.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I don't think so, man.
All day. What are you
40.
talking about, bro?
40, bro.
10 of them jump grab one arm each, bro.
No, it's gonna be like 3 on one arm. Come
Oh,
on.
whatever. You know what I mean?
No, the 10 of them, bro, it's not gonna work. Gorilla bench press is up to 5,000 pounds. The amount of sheer force these animals have, like,
How do we know this? Have we actually gone up to a gorilla and be like,
Bench
hey,
this
yo,
shit, bro.
How much can you bench, bro?
well,
Yeah, you
well, they've done the
just
things-
out here training a gorilla like Eddie Hall.
No, the thing is, they've caught them in a video, the way they like hang and the way they raise their body up and down. Like, you can calculate all that.
Yeah,
The
but you
easy-
see
What-
crackheads
what's
do
the- what is
crazy
the-
shit, but
how
you're
much-
not like, you're not like that crackhead can lift
How mu-
300 pounds.
How much force does a gorilla have? See if you can give us like a scientific actual measurement. This man just said 5,000 pounds.
Up to 5,000 pounds. They can bench press up to
No,
5,000
they
pounds.
cannot.
How
That's
much
the
does
thing.
a gorilla bench press?
I'm telling you, bro. You'll be surprised.
Nah, look at that graphic, bro. You're gonna listen to that graphic? Go to the all. Click on the all tab. 1,100 pounds.
Hmm. This is an estimate. Could vary depending on their individual. What
A
gorilla
silverback gorilla
size.
can lift up to 4,000 pounds.
Yeah, and so can a fucking crazy mom.
Come on, bro. Like, you just. Come on, Biggie.
Baby's under the car, bro. She'll do
Yeah,
it.
She's lifting them. She's fucking.
Ain't no baby
throwing
under
she
that
gonna-
damn gorilla.
Is she
Who's-
gonna blow their back out?
So
yeah.
whose baby was sacrificing under the gorilla?
Huh?
Huh? Exactly. So
No,
we
no,
can
no,
get those
repeat
crazy
your
moms
question.
in there.
What the fuck did you say? What?
Whose baby was sacrificing under the gorilla so we can get the crazy mom out there so she can lift him?
You definitely want to send a Latina mom or a black mom.
No, Latina, you send a Latina mom, she's coming in with weapons. That chancla hitting him right in the fucking eye.
All right, 100 grandmas.
You're gonna
with
throw
chocolate.
that fucking sand.
100
It's gonna be rice though.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rice.
100
Rice.
grandmas with chanclas versus a UFC fighter.
At the correct angle, Rice will pierce the eye.
100 grandmas with chanclas versus a UFC fighter.
Oh, grandma's
That
winning.
UFC fighter's gonna be cleaning the house at the end of the day. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that much.
He's gonna be throwing them down like pinballs, bro.
Nah, he's dead. 100 grandmas, bro. 100.
100
throwing
fucking him
chanclas
up.
at you?
I don't care if you're Francis Ngannou, them grandmas fucking you up.
Mhm.
If grandma's
That is the
committed,
number one fight we were robbed of in the UFC, isn't it?
yes.
Francis and John Jones.
John Jones, yep.
An Aspinall.
Robbed. No, it's not even as big as Aspinall. I think Francis and John is bigger.
Yeah,
than
Aspinall,
Aspinall.
I don't think John Jones and Aspinall will ever fucking happen, really.
I think it is gonna happen.
Is it?
He said I'm done. That's what.
Bro, he's done.
That's what I saw.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
I really don't think.
40.
I think it would be a great loss to humanity to send 40 Francis Ngannous, and if the real one is in there. Now, are you sending Francis Ngannou if that's the 40 you can clone and you cannot clone anymore, and that's like that's the limited number? Are you still sending all 40?
Well, I think
in there?
I mean, the fact that they're gonna win, I know there's gonna be more than one left over.
Nah, see, like you would risk that? Nah, bro, I wouldn't risk that. We need Francis Ngannou.
Bro, Francis crawled across the desert in Africa.
Well, he also fucking worked in the mines and shit. I know.
He's fucking that gorilla up, bro.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's not, because his first punch, he's not like punching a human. He's breaking.
What
a
do you
hand.
mean first punch? The gorilla's gonna get punched thousands of times. There's 40 of them.
Yeah, he's not getting punched thousands of times. Even if gorilla gets punched thousands of times, we need to bank on gorilla getting tired, because gorilla's like bone structure, skin, and like the thickness of the bone. The
40.
gorilla's not even gonna fucking feel it.
40.
All right, I got a question for you.
40.
Would you rather fight a chicken every time you get in a car,
Ooh, I haven't heard this.
or one random orangutan a year but you get a sword?
Chicken every time I get in a car. I'm fucking up chickens, bro.
So
Fucking up chicken. After the 10th chicken, you're gonna know exactly how to fight the motherfucker. Before he says "caw," you're chopping the head off.
Chicken or rooster?
Either one.
Chicken.
Chicken. If it's a chicken, I'm taking the chicken.
Bro, chicken. Even if it's a rooster, bro. First 10
Because I gotta
roosters,
get that orangutan with my first strike. If not, I'm dead.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not.
you
I'm
don't-
dead. I gotta get him
but
like
it's a
Game of
battle,
Thrones style
but it's
first.
a battle that you only have to deal with once, bro.
Once a year.
Yeah, like once.
Yeah,
a
no,
year.
you don't get enough experience, bro. Once a year, you're gonna forget. The next
I'm
year
gonna have a
come around,
whole
you're
lot
not
of
gonna
fucking
know
fried
what's up.
chicken.
Yes. No, you first 10 days, bro, you have unlimited supply of chicken for the entire family.
You start making
Forever.
You start surrounding or making your day.
You just gave me a fucking hustle. Is actually what you did.
Yes.
I'm gonna start selling chickens.
Yes. Yes, it'd be like, where you going, Eddie? I'm just gonna get some fresh chicken. I'll be right back. You know what I mean?
Fucking drive around.
Mom be like, can you go to Publix? No, Mom, I'm gonna just jump into my car real quick. Give me 5 minutes. I'm coming back with a fucking fresh chicken.
Have the pot boiling to get the
yeah,
feathers
yeah,
off.
yeah. That's exactly what's gonna happen. I'm fucking up some chickens, bro.
Yeah, if it's a rooster, maybe a little different. Roosters will fuck you up. Like one of those ones that know how to fight and shit. I mean, my dad got fucked up.
Yeah, he did. But that was the first time he got fucked up. Now imagine him fighting it 10 times, getting fucked up 10 times. You don't think 11th time he's gonna know exactly how to fuck up the damn rooster?
Oh no.
Unless it's one of them roosters.
Have you seen the roosters that fight and sometimes
I was gonna go there.
they go after the owner instead of the chicken? Bro, they fuck those guys up.
Yes, well, that's a fighting rooster, right?
That's
Like,
why I
and they
said if it's one
and they
that
got
knows
the
how to fight.
And I've looked into it actually. I've rabbit
they
hole
put
this
blades
shit.
on them, yeah.
Blades, yeah, I've looked into that, and I've got
Not
the
really,
blades
it's
now.
like
This
a
is
pick.
Yeah,
It's like a
well,
really
they
sharp
got different
pick.
ones. They got the ones that are like just piers. They got the ones that are just straight
Slice,
blades.
yeah.
Like it depends where you're going with this. Now, what country you're going for the fights, right? Yeah. It depends, bro. I'll rabbit hole that bitch.
What do you think about that? Like having they do beta fish fighting each other. Like that's a thing in all of our countries back home, and chickens fighting each other, dogs fighting each other. What do you think about that? Is there like a line that should be drawn, or should just not be allowed at all? Do you think?
No, I think that's just. Now, is it animal cruelty? Yes, but will you ever eliminate that? I don't think you can, because I think all of us as humans, we're in competition, whether you want it or not, and that's another way of showing that you're better than the other person because you have the better chicken or you have the better beta fish, right?
Yeah.
So the only way you can do that if you remove the competitive aspect out. The minute you remove the competitive aspect out, guarantee you this world will fucking crumble. Because the reason we have the lights, electricity, because somebody was competitive and I was like, I'll figure this shit out, and they figured it out. Because then it wouldn't be like, you wouldn't just do it because the competitive aspect doesn't exist. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it because ultimate goal, I think, is like, to smash, especially for dudes. Yeah, and dudes have done absolutely fucking everything on this planet Earth, and they continue to do it just to smash. You remove that competitive aspect, is gone.
I have a really good question.
Yeah.
Would you rather have your internal monologue be broadcast out loud?
Mm-hmm.
You seen that movie?
Or hear everyone else's thoughts?
Hear everyone else's thoughts. I can do some damage with that.
Yeah, I would have to hear everyone else's thoughts. I would be put in jail,
dude.
Quickly.
Not only
intrusive thoughts are bad.
If it's like video game surround sound, that would be fucking annoying as shit, dude.
First thing to me is like right away going to the. Never mind, I'm not gonna say this.
What's the vicinity of people I can hear?
That's what I'm saying.
Like how close does someone have to be for me to hear
people's thoughts? So it would be kind of like the closer
like Xavier
you are to
from X-Men.
Kind of like how COD works.
Like a proximity chat.
Yeah, like a proximity chat.
Okay.
Oh yeah, dude, all day.
If it's
I'm
like
doing that all
guess,
day.
Yeah.
But,
all day.
Yeah, but in a way, like the thoughts would become entangled and everything, right? Like you would be hearing this guy's thoughts from this section, and then this guy, like everything would start mixing.
But
I'll
then you
become
would
like
learn,
Professor
bro.
X, bro. I'll learn how to manage.
Yeah,
that
you
shit.
would learn how to manage that shit very quickly. It would be in the beginning, I agree. But
I
then
think it'd
you
always be annoying.
Yes, but then you'll learn how to cope with it, and then you'll learn how to fucking use that shit in your advantage. Because you'll find out information.
And I think you're gonna start
hating
a lot of people.
Yes, you would.
Like probably the majority of people.
Yes, you would. You would start hating people. But then if you're
gonna really like you.
If you're a sociopath, can you imagine you're a sociopath and you can hear everyone's thoughts, bro? You'd be unstoppable.
That's a supervillain right there.
Yeah, that is straight up supervillain. Yeah, you'll know exactly what's happening before it happens. Huh.
Be rich as fuck.
That's like having a hindsight, but instead of hindsight, it would be front side.
What's the worst way to
go to play a shit ton of poker?
What's the worst way to become
That's
famous?
what I would do.
Yeah. Huh?
What's the worst way to become famous?
The worst way to become
Or
famous.
Kardashian release a sex tape and they have a mom that's gonna manage your
I
fucking
don't know.
empire.
That's a dub for the community.
Huh?
That's a dub for the community.
It's I think it's degenerate, but whatever.
Hey man, it's been years and people are still watching it.
It's the worst
Not
way.
saying I haven't.
No, that's probably the worst way for me to get famous.
Famous in what kind of way? Like just
They
people
even
knowing
coined
about
that.
you, or famous money famous?
I mean, the outdoor boys guy, he said he had to quit YouTube because he said his family said that he was getting too big.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't hear about that? You
No.
know what I'm talking about? The outdoor boys.
No.
You know who that is? It's the guy that's famous for the meme. He goes, "I'm on a remote mountain in the middle of what?" You know, this guy.
I've never seen this guy.
What? You've
Never
never seen this guy?
Never. I don't even know what this guy is.
No
I
way.
don't remember. He's pretty like not that good looking.
Well, he's big.
Very.
And then what happened to him?
He stopped his channel. 15 million.
0.4 million.
Yeah, bro. He stopped his channel. He said, "I'm done." He went on an indefinite hiatus.
Why?
Miguel just said his family didn't like. I guess they were getting too famous. Probably couldn't go anywhere without getting bothered and stuff like that. That would be my main thing. Like if I were to get famous, bro, I would never want to go outside. I hate dealing with. I would hate dealing with that.
Well,
shit.
I mean, if you're getting that famous at that point, I mean, you got, bro. If you made this much money and that's
But
coming
at the
in,
same time, you can't hate it, you know, because like at the end of the day, it's people that watch, that support you, that want to like say what's up.
See, but the majority of the time, I feel like it isn't when you're getting bothered.
but see, look, he already released the cat out of the bag. You can't put the cat right back in the bag. You think by stopping your channel, people are not gonna recognize you? They're still gonna recognize you. So wouldn't it be that smart thing to continue doing what you're doing, continue earning
People
the money,
fall
and then
off quick.
hire people? that can-
Fame falls off quick nowadays, bro. People forget about people fast.
Now I will say that there have been YouTubers in the past that have left and then come back. Now this could also, I'm not saying this is a strategy, but this is something that I have seen in the comments that people have said, "Oh yeah, he says he quits, brings all this traction, and then he just keeps doing videos." Another person that did something similar, I wouldn't say again, he did it on purpose per se. Maybe he just needed to take a break.
Look at this
Roman
video.
Atwood did it. He did it like 2 to 3 times before he continued doing it. And then there was other people like Jesse Wellens, who's now finally starting to come back into YouTube. He had a really, really, really bad story with vlogging. Like he was just vlogging everything, and he couldn't keep up that same character because he was going through shit in life. And he's now back too as well. I'm not saying again that these people are using that strategy, but they're known people that. Have
But
done
look
it.
at this video, bro. Go into his channel. What is the average views per video? Look, 2 weeks ago, 3 days ago.
His average is about probably like 10.
Between 5 and 20, it looks like. Even some of them getting close to 15.
Yeah, 50. Look at this. He's in the
20-something.
millions, and he's in double-digit millions per
Yeah.
video.
Yeah,
Like
at least 10 million. It looks like.
Go back into his like the total views, complete total views. Under his like description of the channel. Now you gotta go into the
Hit
settings
more.
part. Yeah, the more part. Yeah, there we go. 2,570,000,000. Let's see how much money that is, because he's probably getting paid the highest amount. What's the highest amount getting paid on YouTube per view, per thousand?
You can't. It doesn't work that way.
No, I know what you're saying, but just look up.
It depends on region. Different regions pay different amounts.
Yeah, but this guy's not doing anything controversial, so he's gonna have decent.
The best way to
sponsors on
look for it is just looking for a specific name, not trying to use his numbers.
there. I mean, he's no Mr.
You
Beast.
want a number from the internet that tells you how much money he's making?
Well, I can get that number from what's his name. It's gonna give me an average. There's a website that gives you the average, and it's called Social Blade. What's this guy's thing?
Outdoor Boys.
Outdoor Boys. It's not giving me. Why isn't that giving me?
Looks like he was estimated to make about under $1 million a year at a certain time.
That's the number
Social
right
Blade.
there. That's the conversion.
So there you go, $10 million lifetime.
Yes, that's the total number on his channel.
I mean, and they live a pretty frugal life. So let's say they spend what 2-3 million on the production. Doesn't look like he's doing too much of that production. It's
He does
basically
not
just him.
spend 2 to 3 million on production.
So there you go. So then
Hell no.
include all the travels and everything that he's done, all the preparation for it, and they look like they live a pretty frugal life. So let's say 2 million is still $8 million. Just a percentage on that would afford them to live and have a.
And the whole purpose of his videos is him camping. Like he does not like he goes and stays at hotels
Yeah.
and stuff. Like it's him building stuff and being outdoors. Like that was literally the
Yeah,
channel.
and he drives a Kia with a fairly like not expensive big home. Like look, it's got just drywall on there. You know, that's not finished. So he's not living a very rich life, right? So I think at that $10 million, the percentage on a $10 million would have probably afforded them the
I
security.
can't believe
and
you've never seen the.
I've seen now
meme.
that you've pulled it up. I've seen like him being in Africa and shit once or twice. Yeah, like these conditions that he's living in is not doing like he's not doing the Ritz. You know what I mean? So it's probably has badass gear, but that's about it. And how much the gear is gonna cost?
He gets whatever he needs, I think.
Yeah.
It's whatever he needs.
Yeah, very as I said, frugal life, whatever he needs, not necessarily whatever he wants. You know what I mean?
On the edge of the Gulf, I am on a remote island on the edge of the Gulf of Alaska at the very top of the Pacific Ocean. I am on a
You always like use that as like a meme, like, "Oh, bro, how far are you?" And
Yeah.
and he says 10 minutes. What bro actually means, and it
Yeah,
plays
I see.
that.
Yeah, I see it now. But yeah, as I said, man, this guy could have fucking done everything, hired the security. But as I said, he let the cat out of the bag. Like if he thinks this just gonna die off, I think what maybe got to them is like constant production, constantly coming up with an ideas of shit to do. Like we have to produce. I think what
I
that's
don't
what
know.
got
I
to
think
them.
from what it looks like to me, I think he came out and said it pretty straightforward that it's the fame aspect. Because
Yeah.
I mean, like you're putting out, he lives a pretty like simple life, and to have all that fame behind you is probably something he's not used to nor wants.
Could be. Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
Like imagine you making all that money and he didn't like
You
grow
don't even
into
use it. Yeah.
He don't grow into it. You stay in the same life, and then you have all these people following you. You're like, I don't want this. But I do understand what Miguel's saying too. Is like the like
That was probably the most expensive thing, buying those 2 pieces of steak. Probably the whole lodge didn't cost him that much.
is like going out and you can't necessarily hate it because a lot of people are trying to support you, and maybe you inspired people and all this stuff, but it can't be easy either. Can't be easy. All right, you guys want to wrap it up? We've been at an hour now. Starting pretty late.
Something about there. Almost.
I guess Social Blade doesn't report anything. Social Blade used to report what would be their average per video. Like it would give you a nice little bracket of how much money they're making.
It's crazy. His videos are pretty good. I was never a big fan of like getting into his stuff because I don't know, the personality is not my kind of personality, I guess, for videos. But shit, 15 million subscribers says otherwise, so you can't hate on it. Alrighty, yeah, we're gonna catch you guys next time. We'll be here on Thursday, and thank you for joining us. See you.